Las Vegas, and I learned about a place nearby that's supposed to have some pretty cool scenery with some interesting geologic features. It's about 17 miles west of the Strip. It's called Red Rock Canyon. Sounds cool, so we're going to check it out. Here we go. So Red Rock Canyon is a national conservation area managed by the Bureau of Land Management. It's only about a 30-minute drive, give or take, to get here from the Strip, depending upon traffic. The Red Rock Canyon area encompasses about 195,000 acres within the Mojave Desert and is visited annually by over 2 million people. The entrance fees to the area are very reasonable. For a day pass, you're looking at $15 for a car, $10 for a motorcycle, and only $5 for a bicycle or pedestrian. Even better, if you've got the America the Beautiful Pass, there is no charge to enter. Now, we've been having a blast doing what you do in Las Vegas, but as we entered the area, I began to get excited. I could immediately see that this place was cool, and I knew that we were in for a treat, and that this would offer a nice change of pace. But of course, it's always good to hit up the visitor center, so let's start there. There is a water filling station outside the visitor center. You're going to want to grab some water there, especially if it's during the summer months. I didn't see water anywhere else in the area. There are folks working there that will give you good information about trails and things to do there. At first, I was a little bit underwhelmed with the exhibits in the visitor center, but then we saw this view out of this amazing window they have towards the back, and I knew I'd judged them too early. I gotta give credit to BLM. They did a really nice job with this visitor center. In fact, it's amongst the best that I've seen. They provide a lot of information about the geology, the history, and the inhabitants that have lived in this area, as well as information about the wildlife. The majority of the exhibits are actually located on the outside, out back, and are themed around the elements: earth, air, fire, and water. The place has a pretty cool concept, and like I said, it's very well done. This is a great way to start your visit at Red Rock Canyon. We didn't have any major wildlife encounters in our visit, but there's some good stuff to look out for, like wild horses and burros and mule deer as far as mammals go. For reptiles, you have snakes and the desert tortoise. The desert tortoise is a threatened species, and they actually have signs to watch out for them when leaving a parking spot, so definitely check before you go anywhere. Leaving the visitor center, we proceed to the most significant feature of the Red Rock Canyon, which is a 13-mile scenic drive. There are hiking trails at basically every place where you can stop along the drive. The first stop is actually one of the coolest. It's called the Calico Hills. Here you're very close to some red rock sandstone formations, and you can get up close and personal with them. It's really awesome. The drive is a one-way flow of traffic, so you want to have a good plan of where you want to stop, because if you miss something, you have to go all the way around the loop to get back to it, which is kind of a pain. And if it's at the end of the day, it can be problematic. If it's close to closing time, you might not make it back, but it's only a 13-mile drive, so if you got to loop back, it's really not that big of a deal. The peak season for visitation is between Labor Day and Memorial Day. During the summer months, it can get very hot and pretty intense. That's actually when we're visiting. You want to make sure you want to bring plenty of water and take it easy if you're visiting during the summertime. This place is really popular with bikers, and this is something cool that I'd never seen before. It's like a repair station for bikes. There's a pump and a variety of tools. I think that's pretty cool and pretty thoughtful of them to install. This is also a popular place for climbers to come and do their thing. Now, I'm not into climbing, but I could see how this would be a good spot for that. There is a campground nearby about 2 miles away from the entrance. It's $20 a night for RV sites. There are no hookups, and it's only open from Labor Day to Memorial Day, but I think that would be a really cool place to stay with their scamp. In fact, it's something I think I might like to do someday if we get the chance. Timed entry reservations are required at various parts of the year. I think during that peak season between Labor Day and Memorial Day. These can be made at reservation.gov, but that's definitely something you want to look into if you're planning a visit. Red Rock Canyon is sweet. It's way more than I expected. I like it a lot. Another cool thing is that as you gain elevation, you can see some variety in the terrain and can see some more different types of vegetation. Given the large number of springs in this region, and along with that elevation, the additional animals and plant life that you would see here as opposed to the surrounding areas, this area is more frequently visited and inhabited by prehistoric Americans. You can actually see signs of those early inhabitants. Along this trail, I'm told there's what they call roasting pits, and the best way I can really describe it is basically a hole in the ground that they used for cooking. I looked for these pits, but sadly I couldn't find them, but maybe next time. Since it was summer and very hot, I didn't do any long hikes or anything like that, but during the cooler months, I could totally come out here and spend the day doing several miles of trail. And since it's only about a 30-minute drive to Vegas, you could totally do this and still go back and hit up the nightlife. This trail here is going to take us to what's called the Petroglyph Wall, and that's basically like Native American art, prehistoric. The petroglyphs are actually carved into the wall. There are also pictographs here, which I've never seen before, and rather than carving or etching into the wall, it's a paint that's made that has lasted for all these years somehow. You wouldn't have thought that it could, but it did. And there's a pictograph. That's a first for me. Pretty cool. If you're in Vegas for more than a couple days, and especially if you've got wheels available, I'd recommend that Red Rock Canyon is definitely something that's worth checking out. I liked it a lot. Now, Dawn and I do come out to Las Vegas quite regularly, and I will say I will 100% be back to Red Rock Canyon. The website says that the gift shop at the visitor center is open daily, although when we came it was actually closed, and we like collecting souvenirs, so next time we'll come, we'll definitely time it up to make sure we can hit up that gift shop. Well, that was it for our visit to the Red Rock Canyon. This is the first time I've done a day trip like this during a Vegas visit, and I'll do it again. I'll come back to Red Rock Canyon, and there's other things I'd like to check out nearby, such as the Valley of Fire State Park. While I love the more standard and traditional type of Las Vegas activities, I think a day trip is a nice change of pace. Well, thank you guys for watching. If you liked this video or found it helpful at all, please give me that thumbs up. And we have more videos coming up documenting our trips and travel that we do, so if you'd like to follow along with us, please think about subscribing. There is always more to come, because scamps like us are born to camp. Alright, Later.